like doing it?
Well, you claim that you're going to go out there and win 4 medals, so the goal had to be win the 100 and win the 200. So job is accomplished.
Kenny was right there down the stretch. You know, what's going through your head as you're closing in on him in the final meters there?
Yeah, Kenny got a great start. The plan was actually to swallow him up in the first 50 meters, but he was making sure that that job wasn't accomplished. So I knew that he was definitely working on something, so I guess that was it. After we came off the turn, I was like, all right, don't panic. I've been here many times before. We're going to get to the last 80. He's going to fall, and I'm going to get faster. That's what happened.
A bit of a setback. No, do you feel like the plan for New York today is working? Maybe just question things and I just...
It's going to be great.
No, it's definitely working. It's definitely working. I'm right where I need to be. We didn't come in here with the plan to peak for the season, but kind of drifting into the peak. So I'd say that we still got quite a bit of practice to keep doing, keep going at it. I'm not done with the weight room at all. I'm ready to get back into the gym and back. Work on some kind of like just smaller weaknesses within the body, just strengthen them up before we get to the Olympics. And I got quite a few races still to go. I got at least 2 races, and we'll keep it going. Thank you.
You know what, you put them you tweeted out to the Jamaicans. I guess there's a nice competition right next to you too, and Kenny.
I mean, the U.S. has been dominating. We've had 2 medalists at least at each World Championship and Olympics since 2021. So, the 200, we definitely have a strong voting for sweeping again.
Noah, you've talked a lot about taking aim at Bolt's records. What makes that such a big goal for you?
Well, I mean, I think when everybody starts to get to the top, they start to realize, all right, what do I got to do to be considered the greatest when I leave the sport? And grabbing a world record is one of 2 things that I still have left to do. One being grabbing an Olympic gold, and then 2, grabbing a world record. So, it's on the list. It's just, as I aim for being the greatest, it's just something that I got to get, or I want to get.
Are you able to break down your race at all, in terms of how you feel about your start, how you feel about your time, and how you feel about the time?
So I felt like the first 10 meters were pretty good. I came up real close to that 10-meter mark in the first 7 steps. As I was coming up, I felt like I was more focused on trying to get my hips underneath me, which I think is where I had kind of probably the biggest pause in momentum. Instead of saying, all right, let's just rush the moment, it was more, let me wait, get my hips under, and then start moving. Once I got that, I was looking up and we were starting to drive down the track. I was trying to make sure that I was putting as much energy into the track as possible. I heard Christian, saw Kenny out there. I'm like, all right, I'm not worried. I've been in this position many times. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and we'll keep running faster and faster. Going through, when we came off the 120, slingshotting off, it was like, all right, I see Kenny, I see him fatiguing. All right, let's just keep putting power into the ground, keep going. And I was like, by the time we got to the 80-meter mark, I'm like, all right, yeah, I got this race in the bag. Let's finish this up.
How'd you feel about the time?
The time, I'm satisfied with the time. It's right next to what I ran at World Championships last year. 19.5 is pretty much my zip code. That's where my average is. Anytime I run 19.5, it's like saying, okay, you're in your average area. And I mean, as we're getting closer and closer to the Olympics, it's like, all right, 19.5, check. Maybe we'll see. I'm planning to go to London, planning to go to Monaco. Hopefully see maybe another 19.5 or a 19.4. Be like, all right, check. We're getting faster. Each week we're getting faster and faster. That's the momentum that I want to see as we get closer to the Olympics.
Now, do you feel like either of those world records are within this year? Are those on your list for this year?
I say that the 200 is always the easier of the 2. Not saying that they're easy per se, but for sure that's the one that I have my heart set on the most. And it's the one where I think everybody's been like, oh, you're at the American record, you're the third fastest. And that's probably where you're going to, see you can add a little bit more improvement and get a better result. But as you see today, it's not always dependent on if you're in shape or not. It's, the day, the competition, the wind, it's everything,
Do you feel like you thrive off pressure?
I definitely thrive off pressure. I thrive off big moments. The bigger the moment, the faster I run. And there's no moment where I think I'm going to go into that I'm not made for.
Do you think
We'll get to you next.
It took you a second to start celebrating. I know you weren't surprised you won. Were you surprised that Kenny had
compared to what he did, or like what was the line?
You know, as I've kind of come to the 200, it's like harder and harder for me to celebrate because I've kind of gotten to the streak of winning it so many times. That doesn't mean I'm not trying to take it for granted because it's my favorite race by far. But as the times get faster and faster, and I'm starting to see 19.5, sometimes I could even say I take 19.5 for granted as well. So, and sometimes it's just like harder for me to get in like that zone of celebratory as soon as I win. It's like, all right, great, I got the job done. Great, I proved to myself that I'm fast. You know, I'm excited for it. Let's keep going. Let's keep pressing. You know, this isn't the time to say, oh, this is the momentous occasion of a great day. It's like, good, you got the job done. Let's keep it moving. I think I've kind of always had it when it came to track. It took a while before I gained it in real life, but definitely with track, it was something that kind of came natural, and it's something that made the event fun. I felt that, you know, what's winning without a crowd? What's winning without competition? What's winning without the hardship? You know, if it's easy to win, why do it? If anybody can do it, why do it? You know, it's the hard things that I want to go after.
So, can you talk about the relationship?
Would you prefer Doha 2019 when you're a little behind coming off the curve, or Eugene 2022 when you're clear, kind of getting the win? And time irrelevant, right? It's the competition.
I don't know. I just like them all. I like the wins. I mean, I like the London, you know, 19.4. I love the Eugene, Oregon American record. I wasn't the biggest fan of Doha, but I definitely liked today's meet. It showed me that people were willing to get up. You know, sometimes you feel that you'll walk into a room and people are just scared to get up for it when it comes to the 200. And, you know, seeing Kenny, seeing Christian, seeing Arion, you know, all being like, even seeing Kyrie, it's like, you know, I love this, you know. People said, no, I'm not going to back down because he's fast. I'm going to get up because he's fast, you know. That's the energy I love to see, and those are the races that I want to keep having.
There seems to be a theme of like anime, like Chase was talking about Naruto, and like she wanted to talk to you about it. Like there seems to be a theme with a lot of Olympians loving anime. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's just kind of our generation. You know, we grew up during the Toonami era when anime was becoming big in America, and now we're all adults or young adults. So we have had our time to shine, and you know, now you're seeing a lot of us become athletes, and some of us become movie stars, and so on and so forth. So now it's not as taboo to talk about it, and we're very open with how we like it and how we resonate with it, and we want to bring into things that we do.
Noah, where are you at with the negotiations to run the 4x4?
I haven't started negotiations yet. Let's just say it will be hard, but I'm gonna let them know that I'm available and I'm ready to go.